Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Hope you've all been doing well. It's been a little while since I've come at you on the off topic front, partially because I haven't had any how to's to make, partially because I haven't really had anything I wanted to say in video form. And when I have wanted to say stuff, I've kind of been tweeting it a lot more lately. But partially just because I've been having a pretty good summer. There hasn't been any crazy smoke or weird restrictions or anything in British Columbia, so it's been a really pleasant time to be here. I've had a bunch of visitors from out of town. I threw a little bachelor party a few weeks ago where we all did tons and tons of shrooms and went on hikes and bike rides and things. So it's been a really good time. But I figured I'd catch up with you guys a little bit. I have been still doing main topic videos. Did a molybdenum deficiency video on the pot side a little while ago. But yeah, I thought I'd just kind of do sort of an all encompassing episode, come at you on the topic of stocks, because we haven't talked that in forever, and on crypto, and just kind of let you know where I'm at on those things. So, on the stock market front, obviously, we've been going through a bear market lately with interest rates going up and all that kind of thing. And I wanted to turn your attention to one particular chart I ran into. So, this right here is the S&P 500 during the 2008 crash. Versus the bear market that we're in currently. And you might notice that they're following each other really, really closely. And right now, we are at an important inflection point where either from here we recover and this entire bear market doesn't really look like anything too interesting in hindsight, or we once again curve back down. We're in the middle of a dead cat bounce and we're going to crash all the way down to S&P 3100, which would be similar in intensity to the 2008 crash. And which one of these two scenarios is going to unfold right away, I think pretty much comes down to the inflation report that's coming out tomorrow, just the day after this video airs. I think that if inflation is unexpectedly high, and the perception is that the Fed is going to keep hiking us into oblivion as a result, and all the hikes up until now haven't been enough, then we are in fact going to curve back down and test a new low type of thing. Whereas if inflation is unexpectedly low, meaning, below 8 or 9% the way it's been lately, then that's a great sign, and it means that the Fed is probably going to tamper its rate hikes, and that's going to make everybody feel a lot better, and we're going to rally pretty hard. So that's kind of how I'm trading the stock market. During that last low, I did buy a couple things. Like I finally went in on Roblox. I picked up a bit of Coinbase right near the lows. And whether I let those things go at a partial profit is probably going to be determined by tomorrow's inflation numbers. So, yeah, don't try to fight the Fed. Interest rates are gravity, and that's kind of the rule. Now that once again, for the first time in 30 years or whatever, we have real interest rates going on again. Maybe not 30 years, maybe like 20 odd years. So that's it on the stock front. And over on the crypto front, I have been buying more. Haven't really bought crypto in July or August, but I did buy quite a bit in June and May, particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum, and a little bit of Cardano. Bitcoin and Ethereum, because those two now have a future that's kind of almost set in stone. It looks like regulators are going to declare those two to be commodities, which is the best case scenario for Ethereum and Bitcoin. It does raise some question marks about all the other cryptos below that. In the list, are any of them going to be declared securities or be declared outright illegal? That all remains to be seen, but that's why I've been picking up those two. As for my Ethereum merge strategy that I've mentioned in the past, that is still very much still in play. I am still majority ETH. And there's two parts in the near future where I plan on letting some ETH go, whether temporarily or permanently. The first point will be when one ETH is worth zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, that point when they're like 1/10 of each other. So that point is going to come pretty soon. Probably before Bitcoin 35,000 is when we're going to get Ethereum at 3,500 or more. So that'll be a point where I move a little bit of Ethereum into Bitcoin, and I expect that Ethereum will correct a little bit. And then I might put it right back in Ethereum. And then as well, the merge. So when the merge happens, I still view that as a sell the news type of event. And if you do happen to have a whole lot of Ethereum, I would get rid of a little bit of it. The only thing that's changed in my strategy from before a few months ago when I first brought it up, the strategy was still in a bull market, meaning that you should be afraid of the bear market downturn. And if I were flipping out of Ethereum, I would have flipped into a stable coin or into a gold pegged crypto. But now that we've gone through the downturn, if I switch out of Ethereum, it'll just be back into Bitcoin. And then probably once I feel that the post merge sell off is finished, I'm going to go right back into Ethereum once again. So there you are, guys. That's where I am on the crypto front. And what else? Well, since I brought up that whole Elon Musk buying Twitter thing in the last video a few months ago, that Twitter deal has certainly gone sour. First off, it's not going ahead right now. Elon is suing Twitter, Twitter is suing Elon, and we're not sure where things are going to end up. Personally, I'm still hoping against hope that Elon does end up buying Twitter. He hasn't expressed on his personal Twitter feed that he doesn't want to buy it. If anything, he has been kind of either neutral or implying most recently that he still would like to buy it. So I like to think that this whole bot thing can be resolved, one way or the other sooner or later. Certainly, Twitter needs the whole Elon buyout in order to restructure itself and become more free speech reasonable again. I've really enjoyed tweeting lately. I find that it's a very productive form of social media because you can tweet your communication at whoever is relevant to it, not just kind of at everybody at random. But yeah, some of the wacky censorship is really way over the top. I've even been wrist slapped already on Twitter for misgendering Elliot Page, for calling her by the wrong gender, which is kind of insane. It's a policy that's exclusive to Twitter where they label misgendering as a form of hate speech. And what's even crazier is that I wasn't even tagging Ellen Page or Elliot Page or whatever when I was saying it. It just kind of happened, and Twitter assumed on her behalf that she would be offended if I misgendered her or him. Who knows? In fact, at this very moment, Jordan Peterson is still suspended off of Twitter for misgendering and for Elliot Page as well, except unlike me, I wasn't particularly attached to the tweet where they levied the suspension. He has said that he would rather die than delete a statement that isn't true, and so he's still suspended over it, which is pretty nuts. Meanwhile, Demi Lovato, who's sort of credited with starting this whole silly pronouns and profiles thing, she just said the other day, she declared that she is no longer a they, them, which is what her pronoun was, and she's back to being a her, she. How did she make this determination? Well, she just kind of feels like it. And I mean, all I have to say is thank God that her Twitter profile is currently free from any pronouns, because if it were like her Instagram profile, where she is currently they, them, she, and her all at the same time, man, you could get dinged on Twitter pretty easily just trying to talk about her on there. because you would never get the pronouns right. So yeah, it's kind of hard to believe that's even real. But that kind of weirdness aside, Twitter is actually very useful and a lot of fun. And yeah, I actually also noticed that some of you guys will tweet at me and you will tweet pictures of your sick plants or sometimes your healthy plants just to show me. And often I actually do respond. So if you've watched this video this far in, whatever you want to tweet at me over the next few weeks, I'll make sure that I respond to every single one of you. Just for the fun of the engagement of it. So, hope this was useful to you in terms of the stocks and crypto stuff. If it was, subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys soon.